Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So guys, Malam Buhari has at last submitted the list of names of the people that he wants as ministers in his next government. So we'll go through the list. The list is uninspired. I have to tell you that I'll forewarn you, is an uninspired list, but really what we'll be looking at is the names that have been left out, the names that have been added on, and why the list has been released at this particular time. So we go through the list. So first, the headline: see full list of ministerial nominees. So that's the headline: see full list of ministerial nominees. So now let's just dive straight into it. Below is the names of all the ministerial nominees President Buhari sent to the Senate for confirmation. So now let's just go through the names, starting off with Abia State, Dr. Ikechukwu Oga. So I don't really know him, but I think it's a name that recalls from the last administration. But then if you have no recollection of him really, then that just tells you what level of performance he had in the last administration. So Adamawa Muhammadu Musa Bello. So that's I'm not sure if that's a new name as well. So again, if it's not a new name, then that speaks to his performance. Then we go to Akwa Ibom, and it's Godwin Okpabio. So now Godwin Okpabio, that's obviously a reward because that's a name I think that did not quite get his way in the last election. So they've now rewarded him with a ministerial position, although they've not yet given them their portfolios. It's just names yet to be approved. So their portfolios are not being listed along with the names. It's just the names that are being listed. So Anambra State, Chris Ngige. So Anambra State, Chris Ngige, and Sharon Ipayazu. So that's the Anambra State. I'm surprised to see Sharon there. So a female minister for the jihadi. And then we go on to Bauchi. So Bauchi State, Adamu. So that's a name that we also remember. So again, a non-performer. And then the second one is Ambassador Mariam Katagum. So Mariam Katagum, a second female. And then we go on to Bayelsa State. So in Bayelsa State, we have Timipre Silva for Bayelsa State. And then in Benue State, we have George Akume. So George Akume for Benue State. And then we go on to Borno. In Borno, we have Mustafa Baba Shehuri. So Mustafa Baba Shehuri is the representative, is the ministerial nominee for Borno State. Cross River, we have Godi J.D. Agba, a name I am not familiar with. So now we go on to Delta State, and this is where it gets interesting. We have our very own Festus Keyamo, the screaming and shouting son. So already I don't really need to explain to anybody why this name is there. This is the guy that rigged in the election. It was one of the front runners in the rigging of the election. So he's now been rewarded with a ministerial nominee. So you can expect him to come on the telly to scream and shout for the next 4 years. That is if we're not able to rescue the country from Malami before then. So we go on to Ebonyi State. We have Ogbonaya Onu. So that is the name for Ebonyi State, Ogbonaya Onu. That Onu name is a name that resonates. So obviously somebody that is coming back in some form. And in Edo State, we have Osage Ohanere, Edo State, and Edo State has two. So we have Clement Agba as well. So Osage Ohanere and Clement Agba. In Ekiti State, we have Otumba Richard Adeniyi Adebayo. So Otumba Richard Adeniyi Adebayo. In Enugu, we have Godfrey Onyemarada. So Godfrey Onyema is the nominee for Enugu State. We go on to Gombe State. Dr. Ali Isa Ibrahim Pantani. So Dr. Ali Isa Ibrahim Pantani. So that's the guy for Gombe State. For Imo State, we have Emeka Nwajuba. So Emeka Nwajuba, that's the nominee for Imo State. Jigawa State, Engineer Suleiman Adamu. So Jigawa Engineer Suleiman Adamu. So now we go to El Rufai's state, Kaduna State. They get 2 as well. Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed. So Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed. And then they get Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud as well. So 2 for Kaduna State, and then we have our 3rd female as well. I think that's the 3rd one by my counting. And then we go to Kano State, the state of our dollar-loving governor, Dola Ganduje. So we have Sabo Nanono, that's the first one, Sabo Nanono. And then for the second slot for Kano State, we have Major General Bashir Magashi retired. Major General Bashir Magashi retired. So that's the 2 for Kano State. We go on to Katsina, Senator Hadi Sirika. Senator Hadi Sirika. So that's the chap for Malam Buhari's own home state, Katsina. In Kebbi, we have Abubakar Malami. So I think that is the Minister for Justice, and so he's been retained. I think it's already been confirmed anyway, so he's just going to sail through, I'm sure. And then in Kogi State, we have Ramatu Tijani. Ramatu Tijani is just the one for Kogi State. In Kwara State, we have our very own chap, Mr. Hailan Hati himself. The president is Hailan Hati, Lai Mohammed, or as some people will have it, Laya Mohammed. And then the Kwara State yet has the most interesting nominees, because they get 2. Already Lai Mohammed is controversial enough because he's inept. His remit is to obfuscate the truth and to lie to the public and try and spin it. He's still doing that thing from the 90s, that sort of spin doctor-like information management that we had under Tony Blair and George Bush Jr. That is the style that he's still using in 2019. And as a reward for that, for lying to the public that the president is Hailan Hati and calling for the arrest of Saraki because he had some bank loan that he defaulted on a private bank. This sort of nonsensities that we've had to contend with this guy for 4 years is the same set of nonsensities and even more that we'll have to contend with this guy for another 4 years. So he's been retained. So that's interesting enough for Kwara State. But this second name is a very political one, and when I tell you the name, you'll see exactly why. So the second name, of course, is Gbemisola Saraki. So Gbemisola Saraki, of course, the sister of Bukola Saraki, the former Senate president. Now, Gbemisola Saraki is a lady that is engrossed in a bitter battle with her brother. They have been fighting pretty much for as long as I can remember, because sibling rivalry gone mad and not being contained by their parents. So now they are now effectively arch and mortal enemies. So now, of course, this nomination now is a poke in the eye at Saraki and nothing more. So this is really them pointing into Saraki's eyes and saying, this is where we are coming at. We first will rig you out of your local government, because there's nothing on earth that would have stopped Saraki rather from winning his local government unless he had been rigged out. There's nothing, because I'm somebody of Saraki's sagacity and capacity and wealth, not being able to hold on to a senatorial seat in a country like Nigeria, where money is the only language of politics, and where this guy has already fully bought these people for a good 10 years, and these people's loyalty to him is unshaken and unwavered. So for him now to have lost that election, they would not even have bought him out. They would not even have outbought him, because the people that are voting in that constituency. They've been bought for so long by Saraki that their loyalty is to Saraki now. So what they would have effectively done is what they did in all of the elections in the country, is to just tell Mahmoud Yakubu to change the figures and get rid of Saraki, which is exactly what they did. So now, to double down on him and then to hammer him down fully, they've now put his sister, his arch enemy, on the ministerial list. So that is the list for Saraki. So it gets even more interesting in Lagos State. So in Lagos State, we have Babatunde Raji Fashola. So that's the first name. So Fashola has been retained again, but I doubt if Fashola will have the multiple portfolios that he had in the first tenure, because you can see that he was overwhelmed, and all of these briefs that he had, Minister of Works and Housing, and then electricity and whatnot, all these briefs are just too much for the one person. So I suspect that they are going to cut his workload down but still retain him, but they'll retain him in one of those portfolios that he seems to be performing the most. That would be the sensible thing to do. But then of course nobody would ever accuse Malam Buhari of doing anything sensible. So Babajide Fashola, or Babatunde rather, Raji Fashola is the first name on the Lagos list. Now for the second slot for Lagos, the name you would expect of course is Ambode, because everybody is of the expectation that this guy Ambode would get a ministerial position. So now the name you get instead though is Senator Olorunnibi Mamora. Senator Olorunnibi Mamora. So again, let me just make sure I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Senator Olorunnibi Mamora. Now, with all the best will in the world, and going outside of this Mamora character's household, I don't think anybody knows anything about anybody called Mamora in Lagos State or in Nigeria, and I don't really think that Mamora is the best person to come forward out of Lagos State. So this is effectively again Tinubu beating down on this Ambode character, because as I said in the previous video, Ambode is a performer, and his star and his stock were rising in Lagos State, and Tinubu read that to be a signal that this guy might potentially be a problem for his 2023 ambitions. So he needed to dull that guy's shine. So that was why he got rid of him as the governor of Lagos State. So he has now made it clear to Buhari that, look, Mr. Malam Aboki, you are president and all that, and congratulations to you and your family, but please just remember the hand that fed you and is still feeding you. I hold sway still in this country, and I do not want this guy to shine. I want him to disappear, to be faded away, to go into the archives of the lives of Nigerians, to go and gather dust on the shelf somewhere and just let him vanish out of the public space. I don't want his name around. So he's made that clear to Buhari, and even though Buhari is a very stubborn man and he likes to have his way, there's instances that he himself knows that he has to yield, because he doesn't want to take on Tinubu, especially in the climate that we're in. So Tinubu, of course, has had his way now over this Ambode situation yet again, and Ambode has now, of course, been parked completely out of the Nigerian consciousness. So that's that element in Lagos as well. So now that completes the list. So now this is now the list, the runners and riders, the winners, the losers, the ones that made it through and the ones that were left behind, etc. I would have rather that somebody like Lai Mohammed was left behind. I would have rather somebody like Festus Keyamo was not at all on the list, because I cannot see what Festus Keyamo has to contribute to anything. But overall, as you can see, an uninspired list. There's no star name, there's no standout person, there's no name that you hear there that would inspire any confidence in anybody. So it's same again, play it again, Sam, effectively is what's going to happen. The same set of mindsets that ran the country down to become the poverty capital of the world is the same set of mindsets that is being brought forward again to carry on with this sort of backward retrogressive move by the Nigerian state. So Malam Buhari yet not developing a brain and party loyalty over the future direction of the country, etc. All of the usual nonsense. So now why has he now released this list at this particular time? Because of course, you know, Malam Buhari likes to wait a good 6 months before he releases the ministerial list for the country. This also happened the last time, and this time round this was what is was building up as well until he suddenly now released this list. So why has he now released this list? Well, the reason why he has released this list is to use it as a diversion from the goings on in Nigeria with his clansmen killing and looting and raping all the way through Yoruba land, and his policemen shooting Shiites unarmed who are just carrying placards and killing journalists and killing their own police member because they are not properly trained, of course, so they don't know even where to point the gun. So with all of this goings on, he needed something then to divert the attention of the country away from his ineptitude and the Fulanization agenda and all of the goings on. So he's now released this list so that the conversation in the country will then move from his lack of direction, his rudderlessness and his cluelessness in terms of how he's managing the country, so that would then the conversation will move in that country from how that country is being run down to this ministerial list. So this is really the thinking behind this timing of this release, and of course it is his handlers that would have told him that this is what to do. You need to give them something else to talk about so that we can divert their attention from the fact that you are completely incapable and you are going to run this country to the ground. So this is effectively why they have chosen to release this list now. So now this is the list of the runners and riders, as I said, completely uninspired in my view. But what is your view? Conversations in the comment section is what I am inviting. But before you come have that conversation with me in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you've made of the Malam's list in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, carry on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.